The talk of all gaming news is one of the biggest mergers, one of the biggest buyouts in gaming history. Xbox and Activision Blizzard and King. This is a big deal that has not gone unchecked, and not only the regulators, but even Sony's PlayStation, one of the dominant gaming market leaders in the industry, wants a full stop to Xbox. And they don't just want to cut a deal, they want to block it completely. The tides have begun to turn with the Activision and Blizzard merger with Xbox, as regulators have started to come into favor that Xbox should go ahead with the deal. PlayStation has pushed so hard against this deal that the regulators have started to get subpoenas from Microsoft to get 10 years of marketing deals that PlayStation has done to keep competition away and out of the hands of Microsoft and the Xbox platform. And now, Jim Ryan is the one that is being drilled.
Goodness. Now, we had a chance to meet this young man, and boy, that's just a straight shooter with upper management written all over him.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Yeah, Phil, let me ask you a real quick question here. How much time would you say you spend each week dealing with these TPS reports?
Yeah.
It gets even worse though, because right now PlayStation not only is worried about the money they're going to lose, but they've even resorted to conspiracy theories, trying to paint a picture that Xbox will sabotage the PlayStation platform. Here's what they said. Microsoft might release a PlayStation version of Call of Duty where bugs and errors emerge only on the game's final level or after later updates. Even as such degradations could swiftly be detected, any remedy would likely come too late, by which time the gaming community would have lost confidence in PlayStation as a go-to venue to play Call of Duty. Close quote. Here we have the classic example of a criminal that goes out and breaks into people's houses and steals things, worrying about while they're gone, someone is at their house breaking in and stealing their belongings. You would only say this paranoid-driven opinion if you felt like you would engage in this type of business practice against the Xbox. Recently, Jim Ryan was in Brussels for the UK and the CMA regulator meetings, and he said in his words, quote, "I don't want a new Call of Duty deal, I just want to block your merger." One of the reasons why PlayStation is so afraid right now, they fear Xbox not as a dominant market leader, but as actual competition in a sphere where over 30 years, the PlayStation brand has been the de facto place to play games. Right now, Microsoft has offered Sony an 80% market share and a 10-year agreement, guaranteed with long-term access to Call of Duty, something that any platform that's not buying the studios should be happy to agree to. For the first time ever, PlayStation is truly threatened, truly shook to the core that Xbox will bring up a value proposition that will bring some of their players away from the PlayStation and possibly over to Xbox, and especially Game Pass. Looking at the numbers right now, Xbox and PlayStation have been arguing back and forth about a 15% loss in revenue or profits if Call of Duty is on the Xbox platform, even if it's still a multi-plat. Here is what the numbers crunched down can tell us. $110 million per year of revenue could be lost on PlayStation's side if players decide to stop paying for PS Plus, which is a requirement to play online. Also, not buying the $70 Call of Duty just for the mere prospect that with Xbox having control over Activision, they are going to put the game on Game Pass at launch for just $10 per month. That means if you play Call of Duty for just 3 months, you're still getting it at half the price with unlimited playtime during that first quarter of the year. This is a huge deal where PlayStation is so afraid that they know that the people who make the most money for them on the platform, which are multiplats, this is one reason why PlayStation is so afraid that they're going to lose all of the money they make from games they don't own and that they don't create. For each year on the PlayStation platform alone, they make about $3 billion in revenue from all of the games that they make, partner with, and other ones that are just on their platform. This means that if Call of Duty players in force at about 15% decide to leave the PlayStation platform to play elsewhere, that means that PlayStation could be losing a mere 3% of their yearly revenue or profits. And it doesn't stop there. Xbox has been trying to offer the game for at least 10 years, but that's not good enough for PlayStation. And that's the problem with Jim Ryan and PlayStation. He's been going to the regulators very often to plead the case for them to block the deal, not for them to make the deal more advantageous. Here's the problem with the deal. Xbox is the one buying Activision, Blizzard, and King, not PlayStation. It's Xbox and Microsoft's money. It's their investment. It's their intent to grow their platform. It is not PlayStation's say to come in and say, what are you buying? How much are you spending? What do we get from it? This is not how it's supposed to work. And of course it wouldn't work that way, but PlayStation has been angling this for several months that Xbox is about to ruin competition. Let me explain why Xbox is not ruining competition. They're actually expanding it. One of Xbox's key pillars right now is to play all of your games wherever you want. Here is a graphic showing all of the places, devices, and screens that you can play every Xbox game that is first party in their studio, including Activision, Blizzard, and King once they've been acquired. All of these screens, which means you can basically play anywhere and everywhere, except for a PlayStation. PlayStation is so angered by this and so threatened and afraid that now they've said, you either need to sell us Call of Duty or sell it to someone else to get it out of your hands. They are so afraid that they've said this. Sony's group urged the UK antitrust watchdog to block Microsoft's $69 billion deal or force them to sell blockbuster Call of Duty, as no other solution exists that'll prevent harm to consumers in the cloud gaming and console markets. PlayStation cannot afford Call of Duty on its own. It is worth some $20 billion. And who could acquire such a massive IP? Tencent from China? Amazon? Google? PlayStation is very afraid. They are so far behind the times. And as the old joke goes that PlayStation is becoming the next Blockbuster Video, they have put all of their eggs into the console-only basket. But yet, Jim Ryan has said the console is not enough and he wants to sell to more. They're trying to get their big AAA games on PC as quickly as possible. But here's the other problem, because PlayStation is so afraid, they're so scared of the evolution of gaming, the movement of the market to move more digital and on demand and more broad spectrum to play games that you buy wherever you want, just like we do our movies, our TV, and our music. This is the eventuality that PlayStation is fighting so hard. There is so much friction for them to bring their first-party games, even saying they do not want Call of Duty on PS Plus, their monthly subscription service. Here is the real truth with PlayStation. They don't believe for 1 second that their consumers would stand up and pay $10 to $12 a month to play God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, all those games plus Call of Duty each year with a monthly subscription of $10, maybe $15 a month, with consumable residual revenue streams of every month paying to play the great games offered on the PlayStation platform. And here is the big disconnect. Xbox sees it, other brands see it, PlayStation is trying to stop it. The truth is, PlayStation is completely afraid of the new Xbox. And now with a big investment of Xbox, with more games, more studios, more deals, more ways to play, more games on Game Pass, it is a force to be reckoned with. It is leading the market where it should go. Everyone's falling in line except for PlayStation. It's a great time to be a gamer. It's a great time for choice. You can play on PC, you can play on a screen, you can buy an Xbox. Xbox growing bigger, having more places for people to play. These are all going to push the industry, push all of the competition to work harder, provide bigger and better games. This is a good thing. Sony, PlayStation, stop trying to block the deal. Let's move into the future. I can't wait to see what's coming next. And it's all happening starting right now in 2023. This is Colt Eastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I've never done a video where I just started recording and I had a lot to say. It's been about 5 or 6 months since I covered the Activision Blizzard stuff. I've kind of stayed away because it just got old going over and over, but this really was the last straw, where they've got conspiracy theories going. They just want to stop the deal at all costs. It's not Xbox's job to provide games for you. It's your job. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new weekly content. If you want to further support the work we do here on the Cold Eastwood channel, you can do that by hitting the join button below, or you can join the Patreon. That's pretty important because that gets you early access for videos, and it also gets you entered in for monthly merch like this shirt I designed that has all of the IPs. This is like a year old. There's even more. Yeah, it's a good time. Also, the XNC podcast runs every Monday at 5 p.m. I've got the new co-host Mag on the show. I can't wait for that to kick off here in a couple days. But I want to know what you think about PlayStation. Do you think they're going overboard? Do you think they're overreacting? It's ridiculous. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I do read them. I like to reply to them. You guys are amazing. As I always say, on the way out, because you're going to be in there fighting anyway, but please remember, please, be nice.